Today I'm going to show you how to create 3 unique scallop patterns in Procreate. We'll start with simple dots and dashes to create a decorative scallop print. Then use Procreate's symmetry tool to design a floral scallop motif. And finally explore tessellation to create a striking Art Deco inspired pattern. For this tutorial you will need to download this free scallop template, which I'll put a link to in the description box below. The download comes with 3 different layout templates, but you'll just need the scallop one for these 3 patterns. Once you have downloaded the scallop template and saved it to your camera roll, create a new canvas in Procreate at 12 by 12 inches at 300 dpi. Import your scallop template and, if like mine it doesn't fill up the whole canvas, tap Fit to Canvas. This is a really important step if you want the repeat to work properly. Once you've done that, you're all ready to begin. For this first pattern, we're going to firstly go up to the Layers panel and create a new layer above your template layer. At this point, I like to turn on Vertical Symmetry, just so that it speeds up the process. So go up to the spanner, toggle Drawing Guide on, Edit Drawing Guide, select Symmetry and Vertical Symmetry. Now everything you draw on one half will be mirrored on the other half. Now you can start to add your dots and dashes to your scallop template. You can bring your own style into this by choosing your favourite brush and palette, and you can get creative with the different marks you choose to make. Just make sure you are not touching the outside of the template with your marks. When you have finished filling the scallop with marks, make some temporary marks in the top left and bottom right hand corners. Now duplicate the layer 4 more times so that you have 5 identical layers. Select the top layer and make sure snapping and magnetics are both on. Move the layer to one of the corners, making sure it snaps into place in the middle. Do the same with the other 3 corners. This should leave the original layer you drew still in the middle. Merge the top 4 layers together and you can then hide this layer while you delete the corner markings. Then hide the original layer while you delete the markings from this layer. You can now go ahead and delete the template layer. And there you have it. You can scale down your pattern to see how it looks by merging these layers together, duplicating and scaling each one of them down. For this second pattern, we're again going to start by creating a new layer above the template layer. And as we did in the previous pattern, we're going to turn on Vertical Symmetry. Now I'm going to select a pencil brush and simply sketch out my floral motifs. To preserve the scallop shape, try to keep roughly the same amount of empty space around the edges of the template. When you're happy with your sketch, you can delete the scallop template and create a new layer above the sketch layer. Ensure that Drawing Assist is selected, so this layer will continue to have the symmetry applied to it. And now you can go ahead and ink your design. When you've finished, you can delete your sketch layer, and if you have been drawing on separate layers, merge these layers into one. Make some temporary marks in the corners and duplicate the layer 4 more times so you have 5 identical layers. Select each layer in turn and with snapping and magnetics on, move each one to a corner, leaving the original in place. You can now merge these top 4 together and then hide each layer so you can erase the temporary marks. And you're done. This third pattern is slightly different as we need to change the template slightly to give us that interlocking scallop look. Firstly, select your template and make sure snapping and magnetics are both on and up to max. Scale the template down so it is half the size. Now move it across so it is in the middle. Again, the markers should appear to show when it's got to the correct place. Now duplicate the layer and select Flip Vertical. Move this one so it is directly underneath the first. Now duplicate this one and tap Rotate 45 degrees twice and move it to the side. Now duplicate this one and tap Flip Horizontal and move it to the other side. Now you can merge the layers together so you again have one template layer. Create a new layer above the template, and like with the other 2 patterns, we're going to turn on Symmetry, but this time select Quadrant Symmetry. It's up to you what motifs you draw, but I'm going to go for some very simple shapes, just using one colour. You can see this time it not only mirrors to the other side, but also comes up in the scallop directly underneath too. For these scallops on the side, I'm going to draw the same motifs but invert the colours. So to start with, I'm going to very carefully and as accurately as I can trace around the scallop template and then fill it with colour. Now, using the eraser tool, I'm going to add in the same motifs. When you've finished, you can delete the template. Now make some temporary marks in the corners and duplicate the layer 4 more times. With snapping and magnetics on, move each of these layers to a corner, leaving the original layer where it is. Merge the top 4 layers and then rub out the temporary markings on both layers. Merge the 2 layers together and you're done. If you've enjoyed this method of making a seamless pattern in Procreate, you may like to take a look at my Procreate Pattern Class, which takes you through the process of creating a complex pattern from scratch. Learn to create your own template, find reference images and use layers so you can change colours and make edits later on. I'll put the link to this class in the description box below. Happy creating!